the one time I wear a light little jacket. And you have to make the local band
And that's when
see it and point it out in front of everybody.
The bass player then, Gary, the bass player, asked, "Does the nerd want whiskey?" Well, yes, both nerds wanted whiskey, but he was not talking to this nerd. He was talking to the nerd in the Wonder Woman hoodie.
What does it represent? Yo.
I was gonna write you an email, but I'm a little drunk, and spelling is a sober person's game. So I feel I owe you a splanation. I'm sorry. A splanation.
But, with doing my drugs, Luann.
Once a week?
Well, that, and then I have to trim the backyard up tomorrow, and there's a bunch of stupid aspen trees.
Just pull up the roots. You'll be fine.
Well, yeah, but it's a pain in the keister, to use other vintage words.
FYI, viewers, him doing his drugs is yard work, because that's what Hank Hill says. Why do drugs when you can mow the lawn?
I use my Hank Hill voice, I'll tell you what. Dang it, Bobby.
I just don't want them, the people to think that you're,
It dawned on me. I know who we're about to talk about, but in like 2 weeks that the new Superman movie is going to come out. Perhaps we should have tried to time that a little better. And
maybe we should have
talk about the Fantastic Four coming up, because
maybe that will be the next time that we record. We might be a little afterwards, but
yeah,
maybe it'll be okay.
But it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Superman is eternal, just like our next topic.
And at some point, you need to let me know when Zoltan Day is so that we can record that episode.
It would be nice if that showed up in Moab.
Actually, yeah. Yeah, that would be really good.
Oh, boy, that outfit sure brings back some memories. Diddly, diddly, diddly.
Oh, Zoltan Day.
It's Zoltan Day, as it always will be, and we can just breathe through it.
Just breathe.
He was a nice person. I mean, he wasn't a doofus.
Yeah. It was never about him as a person or his personality.
Him as a massage
it
therapist.
was about his actions.
Oh, that was glorious. You have no idea how glorious that was. Well, you do, because you get to experience it regularly. You have no idea how glorious it was for me.
That I don't know.
That look on your face.
The fact that you didn't even give me a heads up, that's just
would have ruined. What was I going to say?
Evil upon your soul for eternity.
Although if I'd have said, I need to change my quote here. It's got to be something. I meant to look up the lyrics to the Wonder Woman theme song, and I forgot.
I don't think I even know the Wonder Woman theme song.
Come on, I know you thought you were Wonder Woman when you spun around.
When did I spin around? No.
I'm doing the quote from Modern Family.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
How cool would it be if you turned into Wonder Woman right now? Can't even talk about it.
Skip 2, 3,
4, and turn. 2, 3, 4.
I don't like this part.
Well, honey, if you spot the wall, then you won't get dizzy. Here, watch Daddy, okay?
Oh. How cool would it be if you turned into Wonder Woman right now?
Can't even talk about it.
One of my favorite scenes
Well,
of Modern Family.
I've not seen it recently, but it was like it was coming up clips or the show was on, and I've watched more of it, and I'm like, the more I watch, the funnier it gets. And
You
even
need to watch it with me.
well, duh, it's not Spaceballs watching it with you, which nothing will ever be because I was not prepared for that.
No, you weren't. But you need to watch it with me. It is fantastic show.
Well, we've watched some at the very beginning, and I think a series that lasts a while needs a couple seasons, like 2, to really get a hold of the characters
Yeah.
more than they do. But anyway, all right, are you ready to twirl around? Neither of us have bracelets on. I need Samson power.
I looked for my bracelets, not the cosplay bracelets, but the actual cuffs that I have.
Why do you? Well, wait a minute. Hold on a minute. I have one question, but let's get into this. Let's spin. This is hello, my fellow agents or fellow hellions. This is X7. I have no witty or anything introduction except for it is me, your crazy comic book comicologist, and with me, as always, is Lilith, who is an Amazon. As I've known her for as long as I've known her, she's been an Amazon, and there she is proving it. And I do only have one question for her, and you better be expecting it. Does the nerd want whiskey?
Yes. Yes.
This is my shirt.
I-
Because it's a magical Leopleurodon.
We probably need to explain, does the nerd want whiskey?
Well, we sure do, but
Do you want to explain it, or shall I?
well, we have
There
the true,
was the local bar that
we have the
X7
true
and I
version,
would go to on a regular basis,
the true
called the
version,
Blarney Stone.
and then we have Lilith's version.
I went there first. I found it first and introduced it to X7. Yes, I did.
The Blarney Stone, maybe. The band I'd met before you.
I'm talking about the Blarney Stone. I went there first. I
Yes.
moved into the area first
Well, I
and
was
then introduced you.
living in Escondildo.
It's called the Blarney Stone, and they would have live bands show up. They would have an open mic, and then there would be days where it was just jukebox music, but it was one of the best bars I've ever been to.
It was my happy place for 2
It,
years.
it was a happy place.
It really, really, really was.
I lived across the street from it, across the street from it. And I would walk over there often and stumble drunk home often.
So did your humble agent. Not to you, Lilith's home. But
That was the night of Cole's myth head off.
do we need to talk about funny texts? Because that doesn't beat the one I got.
Well, no, but that was one of your great ones. Cole's
Well-
myth head off.
You don't even remember the ones from the splash of Coca-Cola.
No, we don't. That's unfortunate. So, one of the first nights I went to, after I moved in the area, I came across the band called the Fooks. They were a Irish cover band. And I liked them enough that I went back the very next night. And then I just went most weekends, really, after that.
You and Agent Tron and the unnamed
Agent, what do we call her?
Well, one hopes that
Something special, and not brick special, just
we'll have to think about that because, I do see her. She's a mom now with 2.
yeah.
And She's not the same. I hope that she has matured past whatever happened. I've called her the dark one in certain stories, but not
My experience with her is a little different experience
way different.
than you had with her.
No, my allegiance, of course, is not to her, sadly.
Obviously, you're here.
Makes me sad because I don't like that. But
It makes
anyway,
me sad too. How everything went
you
down,
had
it makes
your
me
room-
sad.
Yes, you had your roommate and you had best female friend, Tron,
Be that as it may.
who will come up in this episode
Be that as it may.
because she hosed me,
So,
albeit unknowingly.
every time unknowingly.
Well, she hosed you several times too. So
She did that too, unknowingly.
yes, because
Anyway,
it's her superpower.
so there's a band, the Fuchs. I showed up one day. It was a little chilly outside, so I wore my hoodie.
Chilly in San Diego.
Chilly, so it had to be like December, January.
And
Because sometimes it would get a little chilly, not cold. I'm not saying it got cold.
65.
But if you're walking across 2 streets to go to your watering hole,
My eyes just rolled.
maybe you need a light jacket. This is a light jacket
With the hood.
with a hood. It's fine.
It's awesome is what it is. It's
So I'm in
super
there,
cool.
the Fuchs are playing, it's going great. And then suddenly, one of the band members thought he was funny
That would be Gary, the bass player.
and decided to ask someone in the audience if
Sitting next.
the nerd wants whiskey. You know, I'm convinced that it wasn't even me. I think in our memory it was me, but I don't think in reality it was me.
Do I need to make you watch a ladybug sing again?
What does the ladybug chick have to do with anything?
No, it's just a threat.
How do you know that when he asked if the nerd wants whiskey, that he was referring to me? How do you know 100% for sure?
So here's the real version of the true version of the story. Lilith was there, and I think I had moved into that area or was stationed in that area at the time. So I was within walking distance, thank the gods. Thank you, Dionysus. But we were there, and Lilith had on her lovely hoodie.
Because it was chilly outside.
And Kirk, the singer, the lead singer. What are you? Hold on a minute. I think I'm hearing something I need to. Oh, oops.
Are you hearing something in your background?
Yeah, I heard a trailer for the podcast episode I did tonight, Death Rides a Horse, with Lee Van Cleef and John Philip Law from the Golden Voice of Sinbad. Be that as it may, I had to silence it. So we were there, but Kirk had been talking to us because we were friends, at least good acquaintances by then. And I had said, someone had called me a nerd, and Kirk was just laughing because that was Kirk. Kirk and I are of a very similar vintage. His wife produced Shrek, incidentally. Very nice woman.
Yes.
Brick was supremely jealous that I met a Hollywood producer.
Yes, of course. And you threw it in his face every chance you got.
Yeah, he doesn't remember anymore, so it's useless.
But when he did remember.
But Kirk was laughing about Lilith calling your humble agent a nerd, and I said, of the two of us, which one of us looks like the nerd the most? Someone with a Wonder Woman outfit on.
So it was your fault. It was your fault
you called
for
me
pointing it out.
He
It was
had
your
eyes.
fault the one time I wear a light little jacket, and you have to make the local band
And that's when
see
Gary,
it
the
and
bass,
point it out in front of everybody.
the bass player, then Gary, the bass player, asked, "Does the nerd want whiskey?" Well, yes, both nerds wanted whiskey, but he was not talking to this nerd. He was talking to the nerd in the Wonder Woman hoodie. And that's the truth.
That was good timing. And it's your fault.
Well, I'd say you started it, but I'm not going to win this. I don't win. I rarely win unless it's Zoltan. So, Lilith, what you drinking now? We're behind here already. Slurp, slurp. Oh, that's your water because I hear the ice. And God willing, you don't put ice in beers.
They put ice in it. Have we not gone to the beers? I am drinking a Red Rock Brewery Elefino.
Elefino?
It's the lower level Fucafino. Remember the Fucafinos I've had from Red Rock?
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good.
What's its percentage?
It is
And you're pouring it over ice.
8%.
Eh,
No, it's in this.
okay.
This
wait.
is water. This is my beer in my super cool pink
Is it
glass
pink?
diamond.
Are you bringing that to Moab?
I take this bitch everywhere.
Very good. Me, while you're drinking, I'm having one of my regulars, a Rasputin. I was going to go with an American Stout by Kalamazoo, but it was a 6, and I thought for this episode I need a 9. Having a 9, because we're talking about Wonder Woman, Princess Diana of Themyscira.
Boy, do I have questions for you.
It wasn't called Themyscira back in 1942. When Diana made her debut late in 1941, but really her Sensation Comics #1 was 1942. You can read all about that in that magazine right in the background there. Yes, that one. Oh, perfect. Well done.
Okay, let's talk about your beers. That's where we're at. We'll then get into our topic.
Beers.
Skull.
The beers. Slancha. Gumbe.
So there was this one day that I was living in San Diego, California, USA. I was working as a massage therapist
Deep
at this local spa.
Oh, dear. You're just going to
And
be, aren't you?
I don't remember why, but I decided to schedule a couples massage with my then husband, now my ex-husband of more years than I was married to him. Years.
Dude du jour.
I was stupid and decided, I love him, so I'm going to give him a good day. So we went in.
Thought the massage you wanted for a good day, I'll tell you what.
And I picked the time, and I picked the time with the appropriate massage therapist that I worked with. I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what I was doing.
You're barely keeping it together right now, are you? Aren't you?
Absolutely. So I decided that, well, he's a man's man, right? Back in the time, he's a Marine. So he needs like a strong woman's
Okay.
elbow.
There is some funny things about that. Now that I think about it, yes, that is funny. That is good.
So I had to pick a strong woman's elbow because he would be a little uncomfortable with a strong man's elbow.
Ow.
And so I knew then what that left me, which I would have chosen this therapist for myself anyway.
The best therapist there was.
I at that point had truly trained X7 on how to massage me because I gave him notes.
I have the note.
I gave him notes.
It will show up. I know
So I
exactly
picked
where it
him
is.
to massage me because I knew I didn't have to give him notes because I already had several previous times.
Well, one anyway.
And this was going to be a fun.
Was this an hour and a half?
I don't remember the time limit,
Seemed like 7.
but I knew it was going to be a great hour. Just maybe hour and a half. Oh, yes.
She was not wrong, sadly.
Oh, I wasn't wrong.
I've never seen Lilith cry that much before.
We got into the massage, and somehow we got on the topic of Wonder Woman.
I did not. We did not. That was going over there. The other.
That was Agent Schron and the ex-husband. Somehow they got on to Wonder Woman. Did it just trigger Schron, or did one of us say something?
I
think he said something, and it triggered Schron. But at that same moment, we knew, oh, this isn't going to be good. And I can't remember for the life of me what was said. But I'm pretty sure in the same moment we're like, oh, this isn't going to be good for different reasons.
Exactly.
And Agent Schron said something to the effect of, you should see my bedroom wall. Because he said something about Wonder Woman.
Like, are you a fan or...
Are you a fan? Do you like Wonder Woman? You should see my bedroom wall. And I about lost it. X7 about lost it. And we knew, without even saying anything, why.
Lose it. He was trying to recuperate.
And the poor ex-husband just had no idea.
Oh, I don't think Schron actually had any idea.
I don't think Schron even knew either. I don't think she still even knows. I don't think we've...
Oh, she knows by now.
Have we sat down and talked to her about that moment?
No. She might not even remember it because she's a very strong proponent of the apothecary. And I think her memory's... Her memory. I don't know.
I didn't think I was going to survive that couple's massage.
Yeah. This woman, Lilith, has a pain tolerance that is crazy. I could not dig anything into her enough to hurt her. So I didn't even try because what's the point? I mean, I gave her a good massage. I gave her a great massage.
Yes.
It's just how I roll and need. You can see what I did there. But yeah, and Agent Schron hosed me more than once accidentally.
She's never done it on purpose.
Oh, does that turn you on?
Do you think she did that on purpose?
He looked right at me.
Or do you think it was just the non-filter? Now, somebody doing that on purpose, they would get that immediate response and go, "Yep, that's gonna put him in his place." She doesn't have that moment of thought.
Saw it coming.
She just
Alex saw it coming. Alex would have seen it coming if she'd.
It came out of Sharon's mouth. I don't think she thought that through. Looking back, she's like, "Oh yeah, that was awesome." I don't think she thought that through before saying it. It was that immediate.
I buy that as much as I buy Wreck-It Ralph being a coincidence.
How was that not a coincidence?
Mm-hmm. This is
Wreck-It
why,
Ralph was a coincidence.
this is why Zoltan Day.
Minions was a coincidence. You planned and prepared Zoltan Day.
It's why though, because things don't go my way. And how smart do you think I am to plan something like? Well, that I did. Okay, but do you know how? I mean, all I did was not say anything. That's all I had to do. I didn't have to plan anything because I knew that was going to happen.
And that was hard for you not to say something. Because not knowing when to shut
no.
up.
It was not hard. That was not hard at all because I knew what was gonna. I knew what you were gonna do, and I knew that you would be upset. Well, you'd be annoyed. You'd think it was funny, and then wonder why I didn't tell you. But I knew it was gonna happen. I mean, I knew exactly because I know your reactions. As someone who knows Lilith better than most people in the whole world, I knew it was going to happen, and I had to prepare myself for the consequences. Some 12, 13 years later, I'm still getting consequences. The woman has a long memory on occasion.
Uh,
Not that this has anything to do with Wonder Woman.
it has nothing to do with our topic. Let's go back around to our topic. Hey X7, what's our topic for the evening?
Our topic is Wonder Woman.
Woo!
And we're going to have to keep it props. We're going to have to keep it to a certain, like her origins, maybe her incarnations on television, because there's a lot we could dig into Wonder Woman. A lot. Because there's so much subtext with Wonder Woman. And
I figured you would go on a long monologue about Wonder Woman. And then when I was able to stop you at any point, I then would ask you some questions to see if you could answer them.
Why don't you, instead of that, why don't you just start with your questions? We'll go with that.
That's
Ooh.
great. We can start first, and I am very hesitant to even say this, but let's give just a brief X7
Well, that's
brief
easy.
introduction of Wonder Woman, who she is and where she came from.
Well, Wonder Woman essentially, well, it's easy. Wonder Woman was essentially a response to Superman and all the male heroes. Now, Wonder Woman was not the first female superhero. I pulled up a little article here that there were at least 10, including one you would find very interesting, Phantoma, who when she turned to a superhero face, had a skull face. Then there was the original Red Tornado, Ma Hunkel, who was just a woman a cleaning woman who dressed up as a superhero.
Hold on, you're saying these names too fast.
Well, I'm trying to do it a little quickly. I'm not going to go through all 10. But Ma Hunkel, the original Red Tornado, who, when he was revived as an android superhero, almost exactly the same time as a red android superhero, the two android superheroes from DC Comics and Marvel showed up at almost exactly the same time. We're not allowed to say the Marvel superhero android for reasons, but Ma Hunkel was the DC original Red Tornado.
Say that again.
Ma Hunkel was the original DC Red Tornado.
Spell that.
Ma, M-A, space, Hunkel. She just became one by accident. She wore a cooking pot over her head that had eyes cut over it. How they did.
I don't know her, but she's way better than Vision. Let's continue.
The Vision. Colinar. Way better. She was not an android. So that was Phantoma was a jungle heroine who, when she turned on her superhero ability, her face turned into a skull. So she terrified whoever she was going up against. She didn't last that long.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, she's pretty cool, but of course, in the 40s, they were just throwing things against the wall after Superman to see what stuck. Then
Well,
the original Black Cat
I
uh,
mean,
was Harvey Comics. Harvey, who would do later on become, Richie Rich and Casper and Wendy the Good Witch. Then there was Miss Fury, and even the Magician from Mars, followed by the original Black Widow, who was a blonde. So those were just some characters that predate Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman was the first true super-powered hero. She was born of clay, not knowing who her father was. They've kind of retconned it a couple times. But on Paradise Island, now Themyscira, her mother Hippolyta, the queen of the Amazons, wanted a daughter, and Aphrodite and Athena and the rest of them, Demeter.
wasn't she the first female superhero to get her own comic book?
No, the other one. Well, she was first published. Her first story. Well, actually, she showed up in All Star Comics #8 as the Justice Society's secretary. Read into it was the 40s. Go figure. But then she did. So her first comic book was Sensation Comics #1. It was not named after her. They did not always do that back then. Like the Submariner and the Human Torch appeared in Marvel Comics. Captain America did get his own, and of course, Superman appeared in Action Comics before he got Superman Comics. So that's just how they didn't start to brand them right away. Wonder Woman comics did appear. I do have two. I do realize actually this is volume 2. There's the Cheetah. Volume 1, which were Sensation Comics runs, which had other superheroes, the Golden Arrow, and I think Wildcat showed up there as well. So, but her creator, William Moulton Marston, who also invented the lie detector of all things, of the polygraph. So was a polyamorist, had a wife and a live-in secretary. There's a movie out. It was on Hulu. William Moulton Marston and the Wonder Women, because they all lived together. And I watched the beginning of it. I have not watched all of it. I mean, I knew the story, so it wasn't anything. It wasn't going to tell me anything I didn't really know. But she was an immediate success. He decided that all these boys had superheroes like Superman and Batman and Captain America, and who were super powered. There were no truly super powered women, and so hence Wonder Woman, Diana of Paradise Island, was created. And she was a big success. His stories are interesting to say the least. They're very, I don't even know what the correct term is. I mean, I can show you the artwork is quite different than what you were getting from the boy superheroes, the male superheroes. But she was a huge success. So she got, put into she was the first female member of the Justice Society, and of course, she later on, when the Justice League was formed in the '60s, she was automatically a member, and she was one of the big. We'd say she's the holy trinity of DC Comics: Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. The brains, the heart, and the soul. And so he was just huge success, and sadly, I mean, she didn't make the other two got serials, and I say serials, I mean motion chapter stories in the films, 20-minute episodes. Batman and Superman did. Wonder Woman didn't actually get on television. They had an horrible aborted pilot where it was a sitcom. It was horrible. That's all I can say. She did show up in animated form in the Brady Kids, the Brady Bunch animated film. That was the first Wonder Woman. Now Wonder Girl showed up in '67 in the Teen Titans episodes. So her daughter slash teen sidekick showed up in animated form before she ever did. Wonder Woman is a wonderful character. There's no question about it. I mean, she's iconic. She's been through several two live action versions. I mean, and Linda Carter is just revered and should be well revered. But she was really the first truly superpowered, immortal female superhero, and deserves all the accolades she gets, even if those stories in the 40s are to modernize a little like, yeah, what was he thinking? Why does she get tied up all the time? That was a thing, truly a thing, because Wonder Woman lost her powers whenever she was tied up by a man. Go figure.
So you could say that being tied up is her weakness.
It was then. It's not anymore. I mean, they realized that was whatever the creator's peccadillos were, bled into. I mean, that's just going to happen. That's your no matter what you write or create, your viewpoint's going to be in there. Even if you have a bad guy fighting a good woman, that's what's going to happen. Now, I don't know what his personal views were at all, and at this point in time, some almost 80 years later, it doesn't matter. I mean, Wonder Woman has become so much more. She's a worldwide icon. I mean, she shows up in Modern Family, even in reference. She showed up, Linda Carter is just a gift. She was not the first live action Wonder Woman. That would be Kathy Lee Crosby, a blonde. So Penny was not wrong in showing up as a blonde Wonder Woman. And Sheldon should have known that. I can't speak enough. I mean, the Holy Trinity of DC deserves their accolade. Even though I'm sick to death of Batman being prepared for the ultimate Boy Scout, and Superman being looked down upon, because it's hard you have to have a good writer to write for him. You can't top that. Marvel does not have a Trinity because they've never had a strong female character like that. They've tried with the new Captain Marvel, the 5th Captain Marvel, but it doesn't happen. So, okay, question number 2. You didn't stop me.
You kept going. I was waiting for a break, a breathe in, and you didn't breathe at any point during any of that. And I had several questions during all of that, but there was no break to actually ask, and now the questions are all gone.
Because I answered them?
No, because you just talked for so long that the questions don't even
Lies.
they went away. They're gone.
Damnable lies. You can think of other questions.
They're gone.
That's not true. I don't believe you for a minute. You let me get started. I warned you in advance not to let me get started. You have a clackboard. You could have clacked it and I would have stopped.
You wouldn't have stopped talking. You had to finish your point. I understand. You have to finish the point. The clackboard does nothing.
Well, next time, let's have an experiment and see if the clackboard will stop me. And breathe.
Okay, so let's go back to one of the previous ideas of Wonder Woman, and that one of her hindrances is being tied up. That was in the past, right? Being bound.
Yeah.
Stopped her. So what is her...
I bruised myself. Sorry.
Where are you going with that book?
Oh, I'm just holding it because there's all sorts of these are her first adventures chronologically.
So you said that was one of her past
but only
ways to defeat her. What is the current way to defeat Wonder Woman?
You have to overpower her because she is on the same strength level as Superman.
Okay, but how do you overpower her? So Superman's has kryptonite.
That is a
for
good
his
question.
weakness. What is Wonder Woman's weakness these days? In the past, it's been being bound. What is
by,
it now?
by a man. If a woman tied her up, she'd just break those chains. I know. I'm not condoning it. Just reporting. That is a great question that I do not have an answer to because it's been so long that I've read any kind of modern comics. That particular weakness lasted probably until at least the late 70s, if not early 80s, because every superhero has to have a weakness. It's important. Batman is human. He can get shot. Superman has kryptonite, and he's weak in. If you're a magical being, you can fight him like a normal person because he has no defense against that. I would assume Diana, if something can overpower her dark side, I don't know. She did fight Superman in a giant tabloid comic later in the 70s. But she's magical, so it'd be an even fight. I would assume other magic, and she has shown weakness against that in some of her incarnations because she is, some iterations have been Hades' daughter or Ares' daughter. I combined them two, but because Hippolyta never really just said she was made out of clay, and the goddesses breathed life into her. So I think just, if she loses faith in herself, probably, or questions her ability, she's a phenomenal warrior. Captain America could probably give her a good fight, I would think. And Batman could give her a good fight. And I love the Batman Wonder Woman pairing more than you possibly know as a romantic couple. So, but as far as I would think, her main weakness would be against other magical beings of any kind. She has been shown worthy to lift a certain hammer in the past in crossovers. Okay, question number 3.
I get that. I think that's great. I think this is a problem that DC has.
It's true.
DC creates these superheroes where they're just powerful and they expect them to be favorites. So, as I was listening to you and you were talking about, okay, this was her weakness in the past, but present day, it could be this, maybe this. They weren't like definitive, this is what takes her down. That is the same argument I've heard for Superman. He is so powerful, you can't take him down because he can get through this. Yes, in the past, this was his weakness, but he can get through this, he can get through this, he can get through this. And I'm pretty sure we could find videos where people go through Batman and what's his weakness? This, well,
A bullet.
yeah, but that's in the past, but now he's this and this and this and this. I think what I'm hearing, what I'm getting is that DC doesn't really hone in on the weaknesses. They just make a weakness if it makes grand cinema. Even though their cinema isn't grand anymore, I think it's just every time they're grasping to hope something sticks. Because everything you said about her weaknesses are stupid. Green Lantern's weaknesses are stupid.
Well, that has changed.
Superman, as much as I love him, his weaknesses are stupid. I
Kryptonite's
don't
not
think
stupid.
DC has a realistic grasp on its superheroes' weaknesses. They just change it for the storyline to make the storyline plausible.
You are correct. You are 100% correct. Especially, their superheroes started Superman in 38, Batman 39, Wonder Woman 42. They didn't think about that. They didn't think in terms of longevity. They were just telling stories one story at a time. They didn't care. Kids didn't care. The soldiers that read the comic books over in the European theater and the Japanese theater didn't care. They just wanted to be entertained. That whole weakness thing, you can give that to Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, Steve Ditko, giving your heroes a bit of feet of clay, as it will.
Yeah, but they did those characters justice by giving them that. They gave those superheroes that humanistic, I can sympathize with you, so I'm going to be on your side kind of a thing. When you take on these characters and their struggles or their defaults or their lack of, they don't ever match up. It's just depending on the movie. Humans can't see them from a human side and see themselves in them the way that Marvel then does, because you can see yourself in these different characters, which I think makes it better to watch and easier to watch versus the Marvel, or versus, sorry, the DC. And
You
who
relate.
knows what Wonder Woman's weakness is? Who knows at this point what Green Lantern's weakness is, because it's all over the board. Who cares about Superman? Superman's coming out, and as a Superman lover, I don't give a shit.
But it's got Crypto. He's got a super dog. How could you? I am on the fence as well, but Crypto. I love me some Crypto. But I get it. I mean, you are not wrong. It's because they didn't think. I mean, Stanley is the one that brought soap opera, because he was writing romance comics before the superhero and monster comics. Let's not leave them out. But he was writing romance comics, and he's like, let's bring a little soap opera into these stories. And that is what gave Marvel their edge, because suddenly they had Spider-Man, was not, he was very human. And the Fantastic Four they squabbled amongst each other almost as much as they squabbled with the bad guys. And it's just that, like, what's going to happen next? Are they going to grow? Are they going to change? Are they going to, that was what brought it up, because there were continuing plot threads. And DC never got that until they started losing their market share to Marvel, and they started thinking, okay, we got to try something different. But their characters are so established. Batman had to act this way. Superman had to act this way. Wonder Woman just dated Steve Trevor, never had a sex life. She was a virgin for like 50 or 1,000 years. But they changed that, thank God. So, I mean, that's just how it was. They didn't do it on purpose, but they got comfortable and in a rut.
But the thing is the way Marvel did it and why people watched it is because they still had that relatable factor.
Right.
DC does not have a relatable factor.
They're good movies. And I can think, off the top of my head, those, of course, the Christopher Reeve Supermans were very relatable, at least the first two. The second two, but you look at the ones, the DC movies I enjoyed. The first Wonder Woman, Aquaman, I really like that because they brought a humanity to the characters. I liked the second Wonder Woman. It was just too freaking long. It had two stories in it. Should have just been Wonder Woman and the Cheetah. Because I love me some Kristen Wiig, and we're not going to get into that at all. But they tried to copy Marvel, but backwards, and they blew it complete. I mean, one of the reasons, Adam West as 100% grade A West was relatable, even though because he was funny, and he wasn't super serial. He just it was a action comedy. It was not trying to make a statement. their Green Lantern movie was just super frustrating because they could blow it that bad. And the number of good DC movies off the top of my head are three. And I haven't hated all of them, but I haven't loved them enough. I do have the two Wonder Woman movies on Blu-ray.
Who was her father? We know that Hippolyta was her mother. Who is her father?
So in the original comic books, Hippolyta wanted a girl. She made a little like baby or maybe toddler who would eventually be called Wonder Tot until that got retconned out of existence. Made her out of clay, and the goddesses Athena, Aphrodite, and maybe Artemis. Maybe Hera wasn't involved. Just never know. Hera was quite particular, but those three at least breathed life into the little clay being and brought her to life. Now, her father has been speculated as both Ares and Hades. And Hades has been the one who's been obnoxious about it, but so is Ares. I don't know if it has been confirmed recently. That's beyond my purview. But at least those two would often intimate that they were her father. Heracles, also known as Hercules, had some intimate, sometimes consensual, sometimes not, with Hippolyta. So Diana beat the crap out of Marvel's Harry's because she called him the despoiler, and he said, no, that wasn't me, and she just walloped him anyway. And, he was, yeah. So, there's questions. I don't know who at the current, I think they've left it open for speculation because it's more fun, really. It's like knowing Wolverine's origin is more fun guessing than actually telling him about it, right?
Does Wonder Woman have more weapons other than the lasso and the bracelets?
Oh, another great question. Those were her primary weapons. In recent years, I have seen her use a shield, warrior's weapons, and a sword. More and more common. The sword is more and more common because, of course, the Amazons were a warrior tribe. She's never used the bow and arrow, which was very common. And in fact, the Amazon the Amazon warriors were supposed to have shorn off their right breast, so they could draw the arrow back without getting poinged or having to move it around. That won't sell well with horny boys for comic books. But I'm assuming that Diana does know many, many different styles of weapons, but so the lasso, the shield, and the sword, plus, of course, depending on your version, the invisible plane. Was invisible plane in the 40s, invisible jet after the 60s. That comes and goes because now she used to not be able to fly, just glide along air currents. She can fly now. So yeah, I'm sure she could use any weapon she wants. She's a warrior. And nowadays she has no qualms about killing. Back in the day she did. She was virtuous and, very Christian for an Amazon. But they've changed that because she's a Greek and she's going to kill people if she needs to. She's not bound by, that code at all. Thankfully. So, yeah, I would say her main weapons would be the shield and the sword and the I don't think she uses the sword unless it's a last resort, but she's equipped.
So why is she one of your favorites? Why is she one that when anybody from your personal life brings up, why is she
that's more
on the top of your list?
That's more recent because I was such a Marvel fanboy. Stop that. I know what you're trying to get here.
I don't know what you're trying to say. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of why you like
Well,
Wonder Woman and why her
I do.
story and her
Well, she's a
why
fascinating.
she touches you in your life.
I do like strong women. You know that. You can't deny it. I mean, there was a reason that the four of you were the Amazons. And I mean, there's just and grew up with a strong woman. My mother had to raise two hellions by herself. More so my younger brother, but
No, more so you.
I was.
Oof.
That is not true.
It is so
My
true. I've
younger
been
brother,
there with his mom. It is true.
my younger brother, pardon me, was fearless and would jump in headfirst into everything. I am far more cautious than he ever was, and I appreciate that about him because he would just go for it more than I ever would. I mean, I was one that's like, but anyway, strong women are very appealing to me. Smart women, and Diana's educated. She's a warrior, also appealing. Um, but I was such a Marvel fanboy that it was the witch, Tigra. Um, it's not the Wasp, not the Invisible Woman so much. Sue has come into her own, and so has Janet. But Ms. Marvel, before she was binary, before she was uh, Warbird, before and finally Captain Marvel. Um, the some of the I just appreciate strong women who know what they want and don't. And Diana, well, it was the Justice League cartoon, really, because that Diana uh, went after Batman as a romantic partner. And with Wonder Woman says, "I'm going to date you," what are you going to do? I mean, and Batman really liked Wonder Woman Diana a lot. I mean, way more than he ever wanted to admit. There's a episode with her and Cersei where Cersei gets paroled from Hades for good behavior, and they need the room. I mean, the gods do make an appearance there in the Justice League cartoon, uh, and Bruce, when Diana gets turned into a pig, Batman shows way more affection to her then because she's a pig, and Zatanna is like, because Zatanna had a thing for Batman as well, because a lot of women do have a thing for Batman.
Damn it.
You're out too.
Yes? Damn
Yeah.
it.
We're gonna. This is.
That means it's time to wrap it up.
I think you are correct because I can go on. You have questions. You haven't even gotten really to the television, the movies, the George Perez incarnation when he brought her back and did this really. So yes, let's wrap it up. Yes, let's wrap it up. We will probably return to Diana of Themyscira because we haven't even.
Yes, we will.
We can talk about her more often, but
because I have more questions and I didn't get enough time because you just went on and on, which is fine. We'll get there eventually.
You let me filibuster. Should I? I wanted to pontificate.
Well, we'll get there.
I warned you. I warned you.
You did.
And you did not. Whoopah!
Well, because there's things that were being said that I thought should be said.
So what I said was important. We didn't even get to talk about my magical Leopleurodon shirt.
No, we sure didn't.
My Amazon.
That'll be...
Becca gave me that.
Down the road.
All right. Our fellow Hellions, our fellow believers, our fellow agents, all of you, anyone who just randomly stopped by because what the hell are these two drunk people talking about Wonder Woman for? Why have they talked about for almost 80 minutes? Because we're fun and she's cool. But I am X7, and with me, my wonderful co-host who puts up with me way more than she probably should, Lilith Draco. We are signing off.
Bye. Live long and prosper.
Bye.
I got beer.
I got bottled breast milk.
Why don't we start with the beer?
Okay.
Do you like the beer?
I do. although it's actually a lager.
Huh. What's the difference between beer and lager?
I don't know. We could look it up.